Hello and good day, Blue Jays fans. I am your host, Craig Borden, here on Jays Latest, and we're going to talk all things Toronto Blue Jays and Toronto Blue Jays rumors because there's plenty to talk about, obviously, as the baseball comes back tonight. Trade deadline's coming up very, very shortly. We're going to just talk what's going on, how we're going to get there. So, as we sit in first place, the obvious question is, what are the Blue Jays going to do the rest of this season? And the biggest question is obviously the level of talent that this team might acquire. Jim Mound wrote a article, and it more or less centralizes on the Blue Jays being the very hyper aggressive this coming trade deadline. There's many reasons to that, but the one being Ross Atkins and Shapiro would like to keep their jobs, and if they don't do something to really push this team over the top, the question is, will they ever get enough to actually keep their jobs? To the dismay of many Blue Jays fans, I don't know if we wanted to hear that. But, yeah, let's just see what they can do with the product on the field here, too, and we'll go from there. But at the end of the day, the Toronto Blue Jays are going to be seeking talent, and the words that keep going around are they're all in. They're pushing their chips into the table. They're going to be hyper aggressive is the wording. And if you're talking about what happened in recent Blue Jays history a decade ago, the Blue Jays general manager, Alex Anthopoulos, pushed all his chips into the table, sold all the prospects, got a great return. Blue Jays had one of the best runs they've ever had, and just missed the World Series. Literally 90 feet of at least tying the game up. And that seems to be the mantra. That seems like what we're shooting at here. You keep hearing the words that Arjun Amala and Trey Savage are untouchable, but tis what it is. If you get the right offer, you run with whatever you got. The Blue Jays also are going to be losing contracts at the end of the season, possibly for Bo Bichette and others. So it'll be interesting to see what they do as they push their chips into the table over the next few weeks. But like I said, keyword is hyper aggressive and looking to make a splash in a blockbuster trade. So let's talk one of those. Biggest question right now is if they do swing for the fences, would the Texas Rangers be one of those sellers? If you're going to swing for the fences, you might as well go right for the Cy Young performance of what is Jake deGrom this season. Because if the Blue Jays are going to take on something, it's easier for them to take on money. They're already over the luxury tax. They're going to have to do a lot of things. Like I said, they're going to turn around and lose some of those contracts that will put them back closer to being under the luxury tax. And if you're going to go big, go big or go home. Texas Rangers tipping on the edge right now of Major League's playoff standings. And right now, the question is, what are they going to do in the coming weeks? Currently 48 and 49, 3.5 games behind the Houston Astros, and they're also about that many games behind in the wild card race as well. But they're stacked right a bunch of other guys, and you have the Mariners and the Red Sox, now the Yankees, that have been pacing that wild card piece. So deGrom is at his age 37 season, just had his birthday a month ago. He has been on fire this season, nothing short of miraculous. 2.32 ERA, and just mowing through hitters. He's got a 3.1 WAR, which is the highest he's had in 5 seasons. You got to go back to his All-Star performance in 2021 since he had that. 112 innings so far, which is also the most he's thrown in a long time too. So there's some arguing points there that maybe the wheels fall off. Or, like I said, you eat money to get the guy you want. So that is one that the Blue Jays could be looking into, and they should be if he's actually going to be potentially a trade chip for the Texas Rangers. Another one that I thought was kind of interesting that I'm surprised hasn't got a ton of fanfare is that the Atlanta Braves are having a horribly rough season, and I think they're going to be looking to retool more than they are going to be anything. So the question is, would somebody like Ozzie Albies be a potential free agent or free target here? He's a 2-time Silver Slugger, 3-time All-Star. He's having a rough year. He's batting 265 in his career. He's batting 220 this season. 7 home runs, only 80 hits, 29 RBIs, and 7 stolen bases. Maybe it's just time for a shakeup. for Ozzie Albies. He's played his entire 9-year career with the Atlanta Braves. He's never had a WAR that's bad in his career. Even in his rookie season, he was a 1.3 WAR. He is currently sporting a just above replacement at 0.5. He also is got a very team-friendly contract at $7 million over the next 2 seasons, but they are club options. So that would be one of those things that the Blue Jays would have to pick up that contract. But you talk about a way to add and move around pieces of this team. You move him to second base. That means Ernie Clement plays third base. Then Madison Barger plays right field. So there's this little ding, 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 ding that getting somebody like him moves along. And on that note, maybe you just talk Anthopoulos into trading Andres Jimenez in that piece to it too, or something of that nature. But Jimenez has not proven to me that he can be consistent enough to use this playoff run. It'd be great if he did, but I thought this was a nice little way to look at the Atlanta Braves and steal somebody that could potentially help this ball club. So, but that's what this whole time of year is fun. You get to talk, and who's going to be sellers is going to be the biggest question, because there are a lot of teams that are on that tipping point around the 500 mark to be able to run into the postseason potentially. It's going to be a dogfight. So, anyways, tonight, baseball is back. We get to finally watch some baseball post-All-Star game tonight, and it's going to be a fun one. Chris Bassett versus Justin Verlander. The 42-year-old veteran is having some troubles now that he's finally settled back into this season. 76 innings, 4.70 ERA. Of course, he's pitching at his favorite place in the world, which is the mound at Rogers Center Skydome. And I'm hoping we just don't get no hit out of nowhere by Justin Verlander tonight, because that's always the problem. He's got 2 of his no-hitters in 2 different uniforms against the Toronto Blue Jays in the Skydome, and that is not a fun time to be even having that in the dark recesses of my brain. It's just no fun. He's got a 1.56 whip this season. It's been really rough for him. It's definitely the worst he's had in his long time in his career. The former first-round draft pick of the Detroit Tigers all the way back in 2004, if that gives you any idea how long he's been pitching. But the ageless wonder that is Justin Verlander is still thinking he has something in the tank to help the Giants get to the postseason. Tonight, he will be facing Chris Bassett. Chris Bassett has been the hound dog, the workhorse for this club. He got in a little bullpen appearance against the Athletics the other day, pitching an inning. Before that, he had 2 outings in which he pitched 6 innings and 5 2/3, allowing 4 runs between those 2 starts. In his last 7 games, it's a little rough, though. He's been up and down, and the one that's sticking out is that one against the Yankees where he got destroyed, but it is what it is. So, but the soon-to-be free agent is having one of his best seasons. His ERA has 1/4 over recent, but I do think it's going to settle back down to just under 4 like it's been, because that's how good Chris Bassett has been. So, Blue Jays fans, make sure you tune in here. We'll have all the news and highlights and all that kind of good stuff, along with any trade rumors that we come up with and goof around and have some fun, or we get some real news and we get to actually talk about it. So, enjoy the selling back into home this evening. Go Blue Jays, and hopefully we'll talk some new trade rumors tomorrow. Cheers.